I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. A little bonus material here today, as always, for you. Thank you very much for people who listen wherever you get us, whether it be YouTube, the WRMF app, streaming off our website, or even on Spotify. Really cool to see the Spotify Wrapped that people have been sending in, getting an idea of how many minutes people are giving KVJ every single year and just where that puts you. Got an email here from Nathaniel, and he listened to KVJ for 42,647 minutes in 2023. That makes him a top 2% fan.
Okay. Wow. That is huge. But so far, ain't nobody touching Andres from Texas.
That's right, McAllen. We do have right here somebody who is touching and actually jumping over Andres.
What?
The only person I've seen that has beaten him.
Shut up. It's happened?
He had 7,000 minutes. And Sarah, she posted hers on Facebook. She is at 85,293 minutes of KVJ in 2023. She's in the top 0.5%.
Sarah?
Sarah.
Yeah.
Where does she live? Does she say?
No.
Damn. Sarah, we want to give you more credit. Where are you from, girl?
We want to sing you a song. Sarah.
Because I'm sure nobody does that.
Oh, well, fuck. Sometimes an old familiar thing.
All right, I'll play.
No, I'm turned off now. Trying to have a good moment with Sarah.
I'm just trying not to be a hack.
Well, we are.
Every old motherfucker that walks up to her goes, Sarah.
Get over it. We're hacks.
Sarah.
Get over it, dirt. TMZ, you're a hack.
Whatever.
Yeah, Sarah, it looks like, let me see if I do have
Is
her.
this Twitter Sarah or is this a different Sarah? Because it matters.
Wait a minute, Kevin. We have more than one Sarah listening?
Yes. She is not Twitter Sarah, but looks like she is in South Florida from her photos.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's a little bit more guarded on her Facebook page, but thank you very much, Sarah.
As we all should probably be these days.
No doubt. I think she's probably doing it right.
Just let it fly.
Okay. So thank you very much. Also, Mandy said, yeah, I wanted to share a cute story from one of your new generation nationers. I was lecturing my 6-year-old daughter on how much time she's spending on YouTube and how it's way too much. And then she pauses and says to me, you know, Mom, you're on YouTube all the time watching the PBJ show.
PBJ show.
Peanut Butter and Jason, which sounds like something he would love.
That's pretty damn adorable.
Delicious. Yes.
The PBJ show.
I love it, too, because she's calling you out on your shit. Saying,
And you're like,
Mom.
oh, damn, that bitch is right. That's amazing.
She said, so moving forward in our house, you all are only referred to as the PBJ show.
We love it.
That is definition of adorable.
That's lovely. Renee said, yes, I wanted to thank you all really quick. Whenever I am feeling all shitty and life's got me down, I go and watch funny videos, Chappelle, The Office, and I got to tell you, I have one of your podcasts favorited on YouTube. It's one of the after the shows from October 29th of 2021. I can honestly say it's one of the funniest podcasts I've ever watched. It's a giggler, my God. It turns my frown upside down. Thank you, Renee.
Yay.
My favorites are always holiday podcasts.
Yeah, that would sound like it was a Halloween drinking show.
And if we're going on like a little vacation for like a holiday thing, and we don't end the podcast on a fun, crazy one, we let the people down, in my opinion.
I agree. And we did that with Thanksgiving, but we didn't realize we were going to be off. The Bronc got Kev.
That's different,
That's
though.
different.
That's
We
different.
would have totally given y'all a drinking show if we would have known.
If we're here, we should be going full gorilla.
Amen.
For them. So we all right, that 23rd show, you better bring the fucking A game.
I think the 23rd
Is our last
a
show.
Saturday, you dummy. It's the 22nd.
You'll be here doing that show by yourself.
The 23rd 23rd, I will not be here, bitch.
I will be drinking, and it's going to sound like a madman. I've done that before. It sounds like a madman.
Just show of one, huh?
We could do a witch and a bitch on the 23rd from your house.
I did.
You will not see me in these four
I
walls.
couldn't leave the studio for that one bit. I couldn't leave until I ate the whole plate of something.
Waffles.
Waffles. And I was in here for, I think, 2.5 hours by myself, live on YouTube. It got weird.
Were you drinking?
No, you couldn't.
It was just waffles.
Drunk on waffles. And they were so shitty because they were so old. Like, just time had gotten to them.
We didn't make them fresh?
No, we got them from Waffle House. And we got them, and they were hours and hours old.
Gotcha.
Let me see some other emails that we have here. mail@kvjshow.com. Terry said, I just want to say I am a 14-year daily listener. I currently live in Virginia, but I found you guys when I was in Port St. Lucie.
Oh.
I was wondering if you all would ever be interested in creating a KVJ show quiz for the long-term nationers and maybe creating a contest out of it. I've listened to a lot of morning shows, but the dynamic of the KVJ show is unmatched by any other. I think all the other nationers would really enjoy testing their knowledge of the show.
I love that. We've periodically done that for contesting. Know the show. And we ask you like 3 questions. But doing like a whole event, they do this for the Real Housewives franchise. They do like live events out where, 150 women will show up and it's like literally Real Housewives trivia. And the chick that gets the most right at the end wins some cool prize.
Sounds awful. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking that. No, it's a good idea.
Don't worry, Dick. Nobody's inviting you.
No, I do love the idea of us doing our own version of that horse shit. But yes, I'm into it.
If you're at a Real Housewives trivia night, your life's gone very wrong, Bird.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, maybe the next KVJ Live we do. We've got a bunch of those scheduled for 2024. I'm very excited what's coming up in the new year. And our first KVJ Live is going to be Saturday, January 20th at the Dania Improv.
Ooh.
So get ready and put that on your calendars. We'll have something in the new year where you can get your tickets and all that. But that might be a good time to bring that out.
I love taking our act a little further south to see what kind of damage we can do down there.
We'll be everywhere.
I like it.
Got an email from Ryan in Lake Worth. He said, I can't find the show where you guys played the phone call between Jaybird and Ann when he told her that Bud's Chicken was rolling out with the new bird sauce. I was laughing so hard when Ann started crying that I had to pull over into a random parking lot to catch my breath.
That's beautiful.
Would it be possible for you guys to post the link to that show in the comments section or re-upload the audio? I'd love to hear it again after all these years.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in our. That was an RMF bit, so we have it in our system.
Yeah,
so we're good. Yeah, we can totally.
We should put that in a Bud's commercial.
Yeah, for sure.
That's beautiful.
Very lovely.
But also, don't tell me how to handle my business, please. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking dick.
It's almost the weekend. I'm in a goofy mood. I swear. These are all just jokes.
Talk about diehards here. Jeff, who we had seen at the KVJ horror premiere, said the bird cheeseburger is immortalized on our Christmas tree from the movie Anniversary. The photo they took with you, they have made into an ornament and put it on their tree.
Wow.
That's fucking amazing.
That's you dressed as Vlad.
That's amazing. That tickles my heart.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
How about that, huh?
Now that is beautiful. Yeah. What a gesture. Well, thank you very much. I'm touched.
That is lovely. Becky had a question here. Want to know how we refer to each other when we're not doing the show. Is Denny's still Denny's or is he Josh? Does V call Panda Panda?
Yes. And I call Denny's Denny's. If I'm trying to be stupid, I'll call him Josh. But if I'm talking to Denny's, I call him Denny's.
Yeah, we all call him Denny's. The only person that calls him Josh really is his wife and his mom.
Okay.
That I've heard, and everyone else calls him Denny's. Y'all call me Bird. You rarely call me Jason. In fact, nobody calls me Jason too much anymore. I call you Witchy a lot, and I call you V.
I call you Dickhead.
You don't. She calls me Bird.
I do. I call him Bird, J Bird.
We call Suits Suits. We call Kev.
We call Suits Soups.
I think we call Kev Kev. I think off the air I call you more. I'm not like Diet Pansy or maybe sometimes the Kevin Ralston.
Yeah, mainly Kev. And yeah, I don't really ever call the queen the queen. It's always if I am referring to her in third person. Yeah, if we're just talking to each other, it's Kim, or I usually just say hey. That's about it. So yeah, and suits. Yeah, suits. We still use suits.
We do.
I always call them suits, or I actually call them snoots or soups off the air.
Soups.
Yeah.
If we had to call him Jeremy, it would feel so weird, and I don't like it.
No, he's suits. He's okay with it too.
We had a little discussion that spurred off of a story from Red Lobster losing money on their all-you-could-eat shrimp deal and how they had a catastrophic loss that had happened before that even when they were doing crab legs. And we were talking about making it easier maybe to get the bread that would fill you up and it'd be better to do all-you-could-eat with the carbs. But Renee said, I was a food server many years in my life. We don't recycle bread. Why would we do that? It doesn't make any sense. We don't give a fuck about the bread. I don't know where this idea came from. We don't own the restaurant, so we don't care about that shit.
Well, not to interrupt the email, but I'm going to. Sometimes it's a policy of a place you may not believe in and you may not give a shit, but if you've got one of them up your ass managers that's watching you and going, table 19 doesn't have bread, and they're not touching their bread, our policy is take the bread back. I can see someone that hovers over making people do it so they don't have to even hear about it. I get how you don't give a shit as the employer. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you got someone that's how it was at the golf course. There was shit I did not personally care about that I would never do, but my boss was always right there.
The manager's like, hey, reserve the bread.
Exactly. Yes.
If the bread hasn't been touched, reserve it. We're cutting costs.
She said, we aren't out there trying to save a few pennies for the owner. We find it much easier to just get the fresh new bread than to go through the painstakingly useless process of making used bread look fresh again.
Yeah, I'm not blaming it on the employer. I'm talking about the person that's the pit boss, making sure the policy. If you were the owner of the restaurant or the franchise saying, hey, they didn't touch the bread. Make sure, it's the
recycle the bread.
Recycle that bread. That's $38 per loaf.
Kevin Ralston doesn't eat bread. If you
Yes.
bring him bread, Keto Kev is going to send it back fresh.
I could absolutely see that happening, and I've heard that it happened. Now, whether they're lying to me, that's a different story.
I feel like that happens.
Renee sent in another message. She said, we hate the bread. We don't get tipped on free bread. We'd rather you not have any bread at all. Save room for the food that we get paid on. Sorry, I'm messaging so many times. I've drank too much wine tonight.
I love it, Renee. You keep it coming. Keep drinking that wine, girl.
And I do. I get your bread rants, and you're right. I get that you don't give a fuck about the bread, and you're right. What the fuck do I know? I'm wrong all the time.
He just cares too much about the bread.
I do.
See, Renee, you don't give a fuck about the bread. This man couldn't live without the bread.
And I can just see an anal retentive manager going, all right, bread.
Hey, recycle that bread.
Yes.
The Ralstons didn't even touch it.
And Veronica sent in this email. She said, I worked at Red Lobster in high school, and I can confirm that at least back in the early 2000s, uneaten biscuits get put back in the biscuit warming area.
See?
Okay, there we go.
There we go. I think it's all about who your boss is and how they run their ship.
Thank you. I rest your honor.
Also, one server would always use her grubby hands instead of the tongs to load the basket. In college, I worked at Outback, and servers would always pick a stray fire or mushroom cap off of outgoing plates. Not as gross as the Biscuits Bandit, but it happens, people.
Oh, of course it does. Think about people just picking a French fry.
It looks
mushroom
good.
cap.
They're walking by like, hey, I'm going to take that real quick.
You took your seventh edible? Believe me, I swear, the last 3 times I've been at a restaurant, the 3 servers were high as fuck. I mean, they were so high. I'm not kidding you. The last 3 times I've gone out to a restaurant, they were very high.
Really high.
Not really, like so extremely high to the point going, man, maybe someone should check on them.
I'm not here to judge, though.
Yeah, I'm not there.
If this is how you got to get through it, you know what? As long as you're doing your gig, I'm not going to judge if you're high or not.
Absolutely. I did order a pizza and they brought me out a ham. But other than that, it's tough to, you're right, don't judge. The queen of judging over here says,
Right.
"Don't judge the time."
Yeah.
That's the
Look,
time.
I'm the queen of subjective judging.
That's the time you say-
I judge when I
The queen of
judge.
hypocrisy, the queen of, there's a lot of titles she has.
It's fucked up. The times you should judge, you don't judge.
I do not care if my server is high. I encourage them to get high.
I don't give a shit either.
I encourage them to also drink a little bit. And I don't get drunk, but I think everybody should be allowed to have a couple shift drinks.
But it is funny and noticeable when you go to a restaurant and the person they're taking your order is clearly fucked up on something.
Yeah.
You have to talk about that
We
with
had
the
that
person.
recently.
Did you?
Yeah. I was kind of telling that story when we had gone out. We're just like, I don't know, man. That girl's got to be massively high.
And you talk about that with the person you're with, going, they're high, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's pretty noticeable. We're also talking about the artist you saw that either got you to really like them or maybe an artist you saw before they made it huge. And you're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I saw them when nobody knew who they were. Melissa said Katy Perry sang at Palm Beach Atlantic as Katie Hudson, and I think it was the year 2000. She's actually in the yearbook from that year. Did Katy Perry go to PBA?
I don't know. I know she was very, very Christian. Isn't that a Christian college?
It is.
Yeah.
So maybe she did, and she was Katie Hudson, and she was recording Christian music
Yeah.
before she got I Kissed a Girl. I mean, she went the other way, y'all.
Oh, yes. We all know the story.
I love it.
Let's not go down behind the music.
I like naughty Katie much better than Christian Katie, just saying.
We know because you're the devil.
Yeah, kiss the girls.
Ann said, I saw Pink when she opened up for Lenny Kravitz back in West Palm in the early 2000s.
Ooh, that must have been fun.
I think I vaguely remember that when it went down. Yeah, she just, bam, came right onto the scene. You knew she was going to be a massive and amazing talent. Robert said, I went to go see Leonard Skinner and Kid Rock, and I came away being a much bigger Kid Rock fan.
Okay.
And that was early before anybody knew who he was. Yeah, he came right out of the chute, ball with the ball, the bang, bang,
He
He
did. He
I'm a
came out with a bunch of
cowboy,
yeah,
baby.
a bunch of
Cowboy, yeah. His
Riding
first
on
album
the
was
range.
huge.
Cowboy. I just put up a piece of an interview with Tucker Carlson and Kid Rock on our KVJ Insta stories. It's pretty awesome. Just his attitude. Like, Kid Rock don't give a fuck, and I love that.
Yeah,
Cool. She's delving into politics for us, Kev.
cool.
Is
yeah.
it politics?
Oh, boy.
Are you
Kid
out of your
Rock and
fucking
Tucker Carlson?
mind? Tucker Carlson and a Kid Rock conversation is not politics?
I don't know. I don't listen for politics.
Oh, boy.
I like his badass attitude. I don't care about politics.
Might have to go read those comments.
That's so, oh, cool. You put it on a show for him. Titanic Sinicki, everybody.
Oh, boy.
And for an iceberg.
Oh, man.
Whatever.
I like the attitude that he has because he's not talking about politics in the clip. He's talking about he believes in his heart that he is uncancelable because he is his own record label. He doesn't care about big corporate sponsors. He's going to say whatever the F he wants. He's not beholden to any organization or group or big company. And he's like, try to cancel me. They've tried. I don't give a fuck. You can't cancel me.
Yeah.
And I just, politics aside, because I don't know his politics, politics aside, I think that attitude more people should have. Fuck you. You can't just cancel somebody because you don't agree with them.
Yeah, that kind of like anybody who's
And
going
fuck
along
you for
the
trying
route.
to make it politics. It's
Well,
not politics.
You are so out of your mind, and I'm so here for it, Kevin.
The way things are kind of, the people who are saying I'm not cancelable are fitting more on the right. Just so you know, because kind of like the Elon Musk comment that, you know, he had. I mean, I report on it because it was an interesting take after he loses $75 million in advertising revenue that he's like, yeah, anybody that tries to hold me hostage over money, they can fuck off. And he was saying that to Bob Iger,
But
the
he
CEO
is
of Disney.
beholden to corporate money. He runs a social media website that depends on revenue from advertisers. Like,
That's what he's saying. He's the richest man on planet Earth, and he doesn't give a fuck. He said, you're not going to curtail his free speech with your advertising dollars. So everyone who canceled because of that slip up he had on responding to that anti-Semitic post.
anti-Semitic is not politics. I mean, that is different, and that should be cancelable.
I'm just letting her talk.
I'm sorry. I feel the way I feel. That's not politics. That's anti-Semitic.
It's just the things, everything now today falls on a line. Unfortunately, one side or the other. And it's very difficult if you're one of those people that likes to choose your situation or your topic, based on the situation, not on how everyone is. It seems like everyone from the right runs to one side and then everybody from the left runs to another. And then immediately, if you feel that way, then you are immediately right or left.
Well, yeah, we live in a time where it's either this or that, it seems like. But again, that's a big media-driven thing. You're either with us or against us. And for a lot of people, there's a lot. With anything in life, there's a thing called nuance, I feel like, that it gets left out in a lot of conversations.
Yes.
Well, you both know me, and you know I don't know anything about politics.
Oh, that's why we go, That's why Kevin looks worried. Because you're
But I'm saying things from my heart, not from a political position. I like the fuck you attitude that Kid Rock has.
but you're acting like everyone's gonna get that message. No one's gonna.
Yeah, it's just that that fuck you kind of you can't cancel me attitude is more beholden of people who are on the right, and so people that are kind of taking that mantra up will get a lot of negative comments from anyone from the left.
Look, I do believe anyone should say whatever they want to say in this world, and how people react to it. You have a right to say what you have to say, and people have a right to react on how you say it. And that's just, that's 101. But yeah, when you start getting money involved and all that stuff and politics but yes,
it's easy to slip into it these days.
Well, politics are stupid.
Yes. No, it's just everybody's sides with everything.
No, I think we should delve into politics more, Kev.
I always try to stay out of it.
I'm not going to read up on no politics. So.
We can tell.
Yeah,
I can count that
I believe
off. Never have, never will.
We were talking earlier about going to some of these cheaper sites for your holiday shopping, which seems to make sense, but we did get some good advice on the regular show today. There was a couple that was having a bit of a debate, and they couldn't agree on whether or not to do their holiday shopping there. One of them and the couple was afraid that they would step into some kind of scam. They had even heard things, and somebody commented that, oh man, you buy something off of one of those websites, then it's Temu and Sheet, I believe, is what it's called.
No, it's not shit.
What is it?
I think it's Shine or Sheen.
Shein. That's it.
Shein.
I like Sheet better.
Shein.
Shit. That's what you say when you get scanned. Shit.
Shit.
That's the hillbilly version.
Shit.
Oh, shit.
Shit. So these obviously two sites I don't shop on. But you can get some great deals. In fact, Alan said I got a Nintendo Switch. It says OLED, OLED. Is that a typo or is that a type of Switch? I don't know. He said he got it for $220 off of Temu. It was legit. The only issue was the power cord is for Asia.
Oh, so you just got to buy an adapter that you can use here.
I guess if you can, yeah.
That's easy to get.
So that's the kind of stuff you're going to... Denny's was talking about like 75% off on some things that you would want.
That's amazing.
But he had talked about that it was kind of a knockoff and it was deceptive. It was the same looking label, but when he ran the consumer product number, it didn't match up with the actual consumer website, and so he knew it was a knockoff brand.
And not to sound dorky, but if you are waiting for something that you think is an original thing you bought, especially if you're a collector and you spent the money on it and then you realize you got scammed and you thought you could trust that person, it's a shitty feeling. You're like, motherfucker.
Right.
Because even if you can get it back, or now you have to deal with that, and that's never easy. That's like some people will say, I don't want to deal with it. You win.
It is a bit of a hassle. Now, if it's worth it to you to go through the possible hassle to save a ton of money, then these two sites would be for you. Amanda said her advice, use the PayPal for Temu. That's the only scam. Never use a debit card. The quality of the clothes I got was great. It's too late, though, for the holiday because it takes weeks to get your order, just to let you know. So that might be one thing. If you think you're going to do your holiday shopping now, just realize, hey, I'll give it to him at the end of January.
It's coming from China or wherever, so it's going to take way long to get here.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Way long, and when she says wait, it could be from any time from 3 weeks to 3 years.
I'm still waiting on a bug zapper I bought from China. That shit never showed up.
When did you order it?
Like 2 years ago.
I don't
No
think it's
way,
coming.
really?
It was off of one of those Instagram ads, and it was before I realized that some of those Instagram ads are scams. And Instagram does not vet those ads that are on there. If you're a smart consumer, which I was not, smart consumers go and they read the reviews on that company before they make a purchase. I didn't do that. And I made the purchase. And then 2 weeks later, when I didn't get my purchase, I went and read the reviews on the company and they were all terrible.
Okay.
It was all people that said, I never got my bug zapper or whatever they ordered either. So be smart and do your research on the company. You can look them up and see if they are a scammy company. Like that bug zapper, I found out afterwards, nobody gets their shit. It's a scam.
Believe it or not, there are some scammy dinosaur sites out there too that will fuck you that are not real. And I had to do some research, going, oh wow, it's a scam website. They sell other things than dinosaurs,
Yeah.
but it was weird, and you can tell by a lot of the reviews.
Read the reviews. That's the best tip you can take.
Well, sometimes there'll be another website dedicated to the reviews of someone will make something to let you know something's a scam.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome.
Got another email here. We were talking yesterday about the protest walkout that had happened at Monarch High School in Coconut Creek. It was students that were protesting against a couple of administrators that had been removed from the school by the Broward County School District. It was about how they had handled a transgender student. There was a state law that DeSantis had brought in 2021 that said you have to play the sport of your biological birth. And this person sent an email. They said to provide a little bit more background in the Monarch High School issue, it was a transgender that was on the volleyball team. And I think part of the lawsuit that they have against the school district was also outing this person. But they said, we've known the family of the student since the child was a toddler. The mother, which happens to be the Monarch girls volleyball head coach, that was reassigned with the others, actually pushed the child to dress as a girl when they were about 2 years old and was very proud of it. Everybody around them was aware of the mother pushing her child to dress like a girl back then, having the child wear a pink tutu at 2 years old to elementary school where the mother was. I hope the best for the child, and I hope this lifestyle is their choice and not because of pressure from the mother. The mother has always seemed to be an attention hound, and I'm sure was the person that drove the lawsuit and not the child. So one of those sticky situations that I know they've already taken it to a federal judge, and he did side with the state of Florida, but that is going to be a fight that is going to continue on, and they don't seem to have completely solved that issue about who's going to be able to play in what sports and where. So it will continue to be something in the courts. But we're talking about just the concept of the protests. And man, could you imagine doing that back in your high school? Just everybody getting together and walking out?
I think one did happen when I was back.
Did it really?
I think so.
I never imagined that.
But I would have, knowing me the way I was, and I would have completely gone. I wouldn't have cared about the subject.
No.
I would have used it to skip out.
No, I'm not saying that there's not, when it comes to these kids doing protests, I am not saying there's not kids whose hearts are not in the right place that want to protest for the reason why they're protesting. But let's also be honest. There are some kids protesting because they want to get the fuck out of school.
Yeah.
I'm calling it the way it is.
Right. They don't care about the cause. They
And-
just want the free day.
And for some reason, you're considered a monster for saying that out loud. That's that, like Virginia right now. Fuck you. That again, some people are going to do it for the right reasons. I know I would have probably gotten out to get a biology class because I was failing biology.
One student sent in a comment. They said, yeah, there's a protest at my school about taking prayer out of the school about 2 years ago. The kids walked out, and I did too. But I just went to the soccer field and smoked a joint.
Well, that's of course. There's no absolute, y'all. You can't get everybody on the planet to care about the same thing. It's impossible.
Ryan from Lake Worth Beach said, hey, I was wondering if there was any update on Mark. He was the dude who wrote in about 6 months ago asking for advice about living in his 2004 Jeep in Palm Beach County. I can't even imagine what living in a car in Florida during the hottest summer on record was like, but I know a lot of people are facing the very real possibility of doing just that because of the upcoming 2024 rent increases. Can you guys ask Mark to write back with an update and share any advice that he learned? I will greatly help anyone else listening that is also in the same situation. I will try to look that up and find that. I typically do send emails to people. In fact, there's a couple that I really wanted to get an update on, and honestly, I don't know why, but for some reason, more often than not, I don't hear back. It's rare that I get somebody that will email us back with an update, and I don't know why that is.
Because they realized the first round was such a huge mistake in their personal life.
I think so. I think people, they realize, oh man, this is real public, and I don't know if I can handle all this public. It's scary.
If you don't handle shit publicly and you do it for the first time, it is scary. It can turn on you real quick, and it's different now too. People are very quick to pile on publicly because everyone's got a chance to pile on publicly. When I first got into radio, if you sucked, you didn't know you sucked from the whole world. You just knew from a couple people emailing you. Now you go to the chat room. If you suck, they'll let you know you suck real quick. It's just the way it is.
And some people will tell you suck just to be a jerk, even when you don't suck. And that's hard for somebody who hasn't put it out there before and then got a bunch of criticism back.
Well, it just takes a minute to get.
It's shocking to the system to read terrible things about yourself if you've never been in that scenario before.
Gotta stop building up them walls. Gotta build up them walls.
Don't read the comments.
You gotta read.
If you've been on the KVJ show as a problem, listen to us, but maybe don't read the comments.
I think you gotta live in both worlds. You gotta know what's going on out there, but you can't get obsessed about it.
We will tell you the right stuff. Some of the comments will be very nasty.
I disagree. We will not always tell you the right stuff. We will sometimes shit the bed with our advice.
Whatever. My advice is spot on. A hundo P.
You have
Hundo P.
Hundo P, huh?
Did you hear Kevin's legit laugh? Oh.
Hundo P.
When he said you gave
maybe
out,
more.
When you gave out good, I want people to go back and listen to that part when you said, I give out great advice. The guy goes, oh.
He's selling Mickey Mouse.
It was a genuine laugh.
All right. Well, if you would like to let us know your Spotify rap today, you can attach it to our Instagram, also to our Facebook. Thank you for everybody doing that. We are checking that out. So we're kicking around some ideas of what we might do with that. We don't want to just behoove one platform like Spotify, though. We're trying to see if we can get that information because I think now the WRMF app is keeping tabs on just how much people are listening to the KVJ podcast, and that, I don't know if it started at the beginning of the year or not, but it'd be something in 2024 that a year from now we could go back and reward people with. So we'll kick around what we could do for doing something awesome for you, for giving us your time and listening to our show.
Yeah, and if you have any tips for us on how we can gather those analytics from all the other platforms too, send us an email so we don't have to do all the trial and error. Like if you know on the Apple podcast app how we get those analytics, shoot us an email.
Well, I mean, because there's people in our chat room that's been listening since we cracked the microphone today, and they deserve
I agree.
the shine.
There should be some place where YouTube gathers your analytics.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that we're hoping to do, too, is we'd like to get on some new KVJ production stuff that you can hear on the radio station and in the show. And we'd love to have your voice be in it. If you genuinely do like this show, we'd like to hear why and maybe something you love about it. We are going to be taking your testimonials to use, and hopefully you can hear your voice. Just send the audio message on the WRMF app, which you can download for free. Look for the mic drop feature and send us a cool little testimonial that we can use, and then hopefully we'll have you on and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's me. Cool.
That's me.
This is the Davidson family, and we love the Kevin Ralston's rad cock.
Yeah, if you got a 6-year-old that loves the PBJ show.
No, that's not. In my example,
Radcock would only be the ATS.
Everybody, I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Radcock, not for the 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
No, that was
terrible.
And everybody in that family is 18 and over.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
We hope. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. We got one more day to get you to the weekend. We'll see you back here then. Goodbye.